Okay, do stay with us. We have a survivor's story that you won't soon forget, as it has now been 5 years since the earthquake and tsunami that devastated Japan. Back after this. It is a solemn anniversary being commemorated in Japan today. 5 years after a triple disaster devastated part of the country. Now you're looking at what was left when it was all over. First, a 9.0 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast. An hour later, waves many meters high swept over the area. 19,000 people died. And making matters worse, a day later, damage from that tsunami caused a series of nuclear meltdowns. It meant even more people had to flee their homes. Now, the cleanup continues to this day, and for those who were there, the memories linger as well. Tarah was part of a group in Japan on an activist mission when she saw a powerful wave bearing down on a spot that she'd just been standing in minutes before. You're looking at photos here that she snapped of the aftermath of the tsunami. You can see buildings turned to rubble, homes flattened, entire blocks reduced to ruins. Now, I had a chance to talk with her earlier today via Skype. Here's what she had to say. So Tarah, take me back, if you would, to the moment in Japan 5 years ago where you realized that something terrible was happening.
The earthquake hit. We had just experienced an earthquake the day before, but this one lasted much longer, 4 or 5 times longer. And all the birds flocked into the sky, and that was the moment that I knew something was wrong. Because birds know, wildlife, they're always the first one to know, usually, of some sort of disaster that's impending. And so I knew at that moment that it was more serious than I had originally thought. I thought it was just an earthquake. But everyone started to panic at that moment, and you kind of get caught up in the chaos at that time when everyone realizes that it's going to be pretty serious.
And so what did you do? I mean, you saw the birds, flying away. You saw people sort of scrambling. What happened to you next?
So we got into our cars and we drove. It took us about 6 minutes to drive to high ground to this lookout point overlooking the bay in Otsuchi. And we got there maybe less than a minute before the water came into town and covered the entire town.
It was by a margin of minutes that you escaped.
Less even.
Are there 5 years later? I mean, are there memories of what you saw, what you heard, what you felt that day that you just can't shake off?
Yeah, and most of the time, to be honest, I don't think about it because it's too much. That no one teaches you how to process that. And I was only 21 when I experienced this, so a lot of the times people think I come off emotionally cold about it, but it's because I'm still in shock. And I don't like to go back to those memories because I just simply don't know how to deal with them emotionally. The people that I was with and the things that I saw and the people who passed away and the aftermath, the wreckage, it's so much. It's sensory overload, and it's almost like when I look back on it, it's like it was a dream. It's like it never happened because I just simply don't know how to deal with it.
What are some of those moments, those kind of snapshots in time that still stay with you today?
I remember experiencing the earthquake and then us trying to find our way out, and the way that some people seemed crazy with worry and then some people seemed completely calm, like nothing was about to happen. Just the difference in how people reacted to it, mostly that. And people that I didn't know and wouldn't normally notice just walking on the street and that sort of thing. Those are the people that stay with me because I don't know if any of them are even alive today. I think that I didn't really have a true grasp of what a tsunami was and what it really meant for the people and for ourselves.
The thought of going back to those parts of the country that were just devastated by what happened, is that something that you think about, that you would want to see at all?
I would like to go back, I think, just for some closure. These people have had to rebuild their entire lives. We got out easy. We were able to go home. They didn't get to go home. And so I think it would be a bit shocking, but I'm hoping that they were able to rebuild their lives, and I would like to see that.
Tarah, thanks so much for joining us.